Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, beautiful people. My name is Francine, and I'm here with my channel, The Hermetic Herald, for another celebrity tarot reading. So I wanted to come on here to do a very long-awaited reading, personally for me and for some other people that recommended this reading. And I'm speaking about Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. I feel like there's a lot of information and insight that we can learn from these two, just their energy and how they react and how they feel towards each other. As I was channeling their energies, I wanted to kind of share. First, let me start off by saying I am clairaudient, so primarily a lot of my messages are going to come through my intuitive senses, and I'm going to hear the information and then share it with you guys. So I'm getting Madison Square Garden is important or significant with these two. I don't know if they went to Madison Square Garden together and that was a really pivotal moment or a very important date, but that's coming through. If you guys know about that, please let me know, because the confirmations are very appreciated if there is someone out there that knows about this. I don't know why I'm getting that. I do know that Madison Square Garden is in New York, so I think there's something about that that's going to come through. For some reason, that's coming out. Spirit, let's get into this. Yeah, let's see what's going on. I'm hearing bulletproof. Something is bulletproof between these two. What is that? Would you like this to be the situation? Yeah, they want that to be the situation between them currently. I'm going to just click over to my spread overview, because I like to always keep that on hand. I used to have my handy dandy notebook, if you guys know about my past videos, and I kind of got tired of that, having it on hand all the time. So we're going to go into the current situation. Second card is going to be what Jessica Biel brings to the relationship. Third is going to be what Justin Timberlake brings to the relationship. Okay. Okay, interesting. Justin Timberlake, what he brings to the relationship. Interesting. They want me to go into their obstacle. What are their current obstacles here? Yeah, they told me all of those. I heard 3. Is this 3? This is 4. So we're going to put these on the side. What is their potential together? Okay, potential. And then let's see what lessons they are learning together. What lessons are they learning? Interesting. Got 3 cards right there that flipped over. And I'm feeling like this is a conclusion to that energy. What is their trajectory? What is their trajectory, Spirit? Trajectory. Interesting. I think this is about their trip in Mexico. We're going to put that to the side here as a bonus. And let's continue. Yeah, they're making me feel like there's another thing I need to talk about here. I'm hearing Cabo a lot, and I know that that's where they went, so that's interesting. This is another 2 cards. That's going to be about the bottom line of the situation between them. I wish you guys could see it, but you will see it later. And then there's 1 card here that's going to help at the end. We're going to find out. We have a lot to talk about, guys. So let's get into the current situation. What is their current situation right now? The 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords is a notorious card for worrying or being tortured by a thought. It keeping you up at night. So there's this energy of them being or feeling like they're being kept up at night, and they're feeling worried. They're feeling distracted by a lot of things going on mentally. There's a lot of annoyances too with regards to things that are happening currently. So they're feeling like they're just in a really constant state of torture. And it's about words, because usually the swords are indicative of air energy, or in regards to the mental space. Their mental space is being tortured by these swords that are on their side, on their wall. Interesting. What I'm getting is like stripes with the swords in that display, like them being up there. And it's making me feel like, in the United States of America, like the energy of them is that they felt like this is truly something that's American in its roots. Like the issue with regards to backlash, media backlash, I am aware of that. It's so hard not to hear about it, so I'm just going to be very upfront with you guys. That's the extent of what I know. There was some backlash with regards to Britney Spears' memoir, so I can tell you guys that is one thing. But I feel like that's coming into this reading, so I feel like you would expect that with the current situation, there to be some issues with regards to their mental space if they are vulnerable, because I feel like not everyone is going to be in this state when something hits the fan. If they feel like there's not some guilt or not some resentment or something about some vulnerability here. So there's some vulnerability in their relationship right now because they're feeling so tortured or affected by the current events. What is Jessica bringing to the relationship? We have the Four of Cups. Usually that's about dejectedness, like not being interested, not being about it. That's also the energy of feeling like you can't feel anything, like you're just numb. You're not seeing what lies before you because you're so dissatisfied with the current affairs, current energies. So Jessica's feeling really like what she brings to the relationship as a whole, since we're talking about the relationship as a whole, is a very dejected energy, not very involved energetically. Weird. The reason why I say that is because in a relationship, I would want to see more of an emotional or more of like an action-oriented energy, a mental energy. But typically this is about spacing out or not feeling quite contented with something. So she's bringing a lack of contentedness to this relationship. Interesting. And then we have what Justin brings to the relationship as justice. He brings justice, balance. He helps balance her out. Interesting. Is Jessica Biel on antidepressants? This is very personal information, as I would expect with a reading like this. I'm tapping into their energy, but I'm feeling like she's on antidepressants or anti-anxiety medications, and they're denoting that's like something that really affects her in the relationship. And I'm hearing it F's with her, like it's still like something that she has to kind of balance out because it affects her. Please let me know if you guys know that. But we have justice for him. I feel like he helps balance her out in some way. I almost feel like he has custodial rights with regards to her. I don't know exactly what that means because I forgot what custodial rights would mean. I feel like it's about like when you have children, someone to take care of the children or something like that. I feel like custodial rights is coming up, meaning that he's of the two. He fares better mentally because I feel like she's been assessed for something or has had to address something with regards to either postpartum depression or something about her like having an experience with her mental health and her mental state coming through. Interesting. And I'm feeling like of the two, he's the more balanced of the two, or helps her find it, or he's a little bit more fortunate with regards to his stability. Interesting. What are their obstacles, Spirit? Let's start off with the Devil. Okay, Devil. Devil energy is an obstacle. It's their fears. It feels like whenever typically I feel like the Devil is about being tied down, because you're seeing these two people, right? I think typically we depict this as Adam and Eve, right? The apple is on the side here. It looked like an apple, but it looks like just a fire. There's this sense of separation and yet being chained together. Separation energetically from each other because they're not bridging the gap. They're actually being like glued together. It's a forced energy, very toxic energy. Their obstacle is some toxicity in their relationship. Toxicity with what? Three of Wands is coming through. They have a tendency with the Three of Wands of running away. When they feel like something is too difficult, they run away. Because if they can't mentally bear the burden of something, they emotionally have to recluse or emotionally have to like numb. And I'm getting it more so on Jessica's side. I'm feeling like she's the one that needs this trip more than anyone. Between the two of them, I'm feeling like he finds balance and he can get through something like this, but I feel like she is the one that's not taking this well. And I feel like they have a tendency of like trying to evade certain situations in order to help her get through it. I'm getting Eight of Pentacles. Work has been an obstacle for them. Their work-life career, their career balance, like their work-life balance with love and with careers has been a constant thing that has been, I'm hearing constant torture of balancing it out. It's so precarious for them. We also have the Hangman, deliberation. They tend to be like in their head more than other, between the two of them, they tend to be in their head as a couple more than they had been in the past with other people. So for Jessica and for someone else, she was in her head a lot less than she is with him. Like he is the one that I'm hearing penultimate. So that means that she likely is gonna, interesting, I don't know if I should say that yet. I'm just gonna say like, I'm hearing penultimate, so it means that there's likely someone else after him. I'm just getting the sense that he is someone that's going to lead her to someone else. We will see how the trajectory works, but I'm already getting that before we get to the cards. So let's get into their potential together. Potential between the two of them is the King of Wands. Dominance. Very determined energy here. The King of Wands is not a negative card. It doesn't have to be. It just depends. It could either just be that their potential is to set fire to certain things in their life, because I think of fire energy, very determined, goal-oriented energy here. Can you please clarify that? Five of Wands. Five of Wands is typically the energy of like conflicting beliefs and that sharpening you as a person. So like them not being the same person or very similar, being quite different in ideals and thought lives, or in their thought life, they're very different or distinct identities. And I feel like that has helped them. That has helped them with their relationship. It has helped them form a stronger bond. We have the Seven of Swords coming out with the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is typically about partnerships. It's also about a contract between friends, or a contract in general. Interesting. I'm hearing they took a departure from the contracts, like in terms of like making marriage all about the contract. I feel like they feel better knowing that even though they're married, their energy is not focused on doing what other people are doing. Something about contracts and going according to their feelings and not according to just what society is expecting of them or what they think marriage entails. Something like that. They're very like different in their relationship, meaning they're more so like free, where they can actually be themselves in this relationship. How free? We will see if that comes up. But what should they have learned? What should they have learned, or what were some lessons they need to learn is the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is about illusions. They might have had illusions. I'm hearing illusions of grandeur about each other. Maybe when they got into their relationship, there were certain illusions about what they perceived each other to be, and it not being like that. I'm seeing disappointment. And I'm hearing Jessica. So she felt a sense of disappointment. I don't know if she goes through drinking. See, she has some things that are coming through, some vices that are coming through, and I think the Devil energy is reflecting that. I don't know if she like used to drown her sorrows with alcohol, or knew someone that was close to her that used to do that, or he does. But one of their lessons is about sadness and disappointment, addressing the sadness and disappointment and seeing the beauty of what they have behind them, rather than all the things that they were disappointed when these illusions were cast into the water. Basically, when they realized little by little that they did not really know each other, I feel like they needed to learn like how to be appreciative of who they were when all of the blinders were off, when all of the doubts or all of the illusions or fake energy was shed as they got past that honeymoon phase and all of that. It's like they need to recognize the lessons that they learned about how they perceived each other in a relationship. We also have the Two of Wands, seeing things. It's like seeing things with a broader horizon or more positivity. There was something about them needing to look and be hopeful of the future. Something about them needing to come together and being like expectant of good things. I almost feel like he placates her emotionally in order to help her get through some things. I'm just getting her energy being more like chaotic, and him being her justice, or him balancing her out a lot. He might have significant Libra placements that are being addressed, and if you know those, it might be indicative of something about him. Like that sign, like for instance, If he has his Libra and his North Node is Libra, for instance, I would say that he's moving towards more so a diplomatic energy, more so towards like working and building with people. Not saying that's what it is, but that's an example. He might just be like have Libra placements that are helping her, okay, as well. So let's get into, I think the next one is going to be, this is like the end of the day, what's going on with the relationship. We have Judgment. The bottom line and this card are significant, so I'm going to combine them here. But we have the Judgment card, which is telling me that there needs to be a judgment called. There needs to be some conversation that's said. And I feel like what's happening is they're trying to run away with the Three of Wands that we got earlier. With their obstacle being the Three of Wands, I think they need to stop running. They need to stop running away and moving on quickly from a situation. They need to address it head on. I'm hearing Godmother. So someone's godmother is significant here. What is their trajectory, Spirit? We have the Five of Swords. Their trajectory is conflict, fighting some battle, either together or separately. Spirit, can you please clarify the Five of Swords? Okay. We have the Queen of Pentacles and we have the Emperor, as well as the Hermit, the Magician, and the Eight of Swords. They need to address the turmoil, because I feel like if they address it and talk about it and actually open up about it, they'll actually find that they can manifest something better. So I'm just getting the energy that in the relationship, Justin is taking the focus here, because I'm seeing the Emperor and the Queen of Pentacles, like she allows him to take this center stage in the relationship. He has some kind of like authoritarian role. I'm not going to say negative, but it's just more so a focus, like putting his energy at the forefront and protecting the family. That's coming through. She has her own thing going on too, like she's strong in her own way, but I feel as though he comes in to balance things and helps out with that a lot. I have to learn not to like try to like please everyone, because I'm just getting that he's more of the authoritative person between them, and their trajectory is moving towards the opposition, addressing the opposition and the hurtful words that were said. So in regards to Cabo, what do we have? Ten of Swords, ending a really tough and painful cycle, and maybe alleviating something, alleviating some issues. It's like a sweet little gift to them is what I'm hearing. A sweet little gift, a token, is going on this trip and getting away from the situation. I'm hearing getaway car. That's a Taylor Swift song, I believe. So what's the bottom line? We have the Tower and we have the King of Pentacles. I'm hearing money wins, money wins. So at the end of the day, they're going to be able to do something with regards to their money to assist them in addressing some really important information or some big information that's going to come out. And what's the other card that we had here? Queen of Cups. So there's someone that's going to talk about this. Is it Jessica? I feel like it's Jessica here. She is coming off as the water sign or the water energy. I don't know what her sign is, but water placements are significant. I feel like there's going to be some wealth of information that she comes out with to help their family. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles. So that is what I have for you guys today. My camera's about to die, but please feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this reading, and I will be back for more. Take care. Bye.